the ColorLogic system works accurately because we have characterized all of our colors and our decorative effects based on what the printing press can do. So we've basically studied all major press manufacturers, whether that's printing with white ink or silver ink or toner, and we then built a system around it. So all of our algorithms in our plugins, all the color formulations in our swatch books are based around what the press can achieve. So from there, we now know what is achievable with the machine. We can now use those tools to do color separation. So that could be in Illustrator, like we're in now, to show you. We could be packaging labels, etc., using our dedicated metallic palettes. Could be in InDesign as well, but today we're going to demonstrate how to do the image separation that we did for Printing United on your files. So as a quick demonstration to compare against how white ink is usually done versus what we do with ColorLogic, on the left hand side we have the traditional old-fashioned white ink mask. Now that basically means you have to create a separation where you want to see the white. Now you can't see white on a computer screen if you make it white. So for anybody that's not familiar with this, if I make it white and then I switch on my file, you cannot see your white separation because white set to overprint or multiply goes transparent. Therefore, we're all taught that basically we should create a spot color called white and we should make it like blue, for example. That's the most commonly used one. So now we see the white, but it's blue. So all your whites are blue, all your images contaminated by blue colors, you can't really see the intent of the design correctly. Now what normally happens is people basically put metallic in everything else. So in this background area, for example, you would have the silver substrate and that's it. So you'd have silver substrate and white. And it's quite a crude way of working. You get these kind of like hard edges. There's no photorealism, there's no shading, and quite honestly, it looks quite terrible. Now with ColorLogic, on the other hand, this image here, we have the ColorLogic separation. So you can see the image on the right actually looks right. It looks correct. And it looks correct because we're using our plugins. So first of all, we have a plugin from the plugin menu. It's an Adobe UXP based plugin. The image separation algorithms have been developed, like I said, based on what the press can do. So it takes into account things like ISO standard for the CMYK. And then calculates the optimum effect for the pixels in the image based on all these different properties. Yellow is more translucent than a blue. You need less metallic in the yellows than you do into the cyans. There's an anti-screen clash algorithm built in there. There's a whole range of complexity. But what it basically means is all you have to do is create metallic separation. So we've done one here. We've got the separation done. So the silver is the silver substrate. The white is the white ink mask. So unlike comparing it against the old-fashioned method, our separation shows you the silver substrate and the white, whereas the old-fashioned method doesn't show you a silver substrate, doesn't show you white. So what's the more logical thing? Design where you can see the effect correctly, accurately, with color separations that generates photorealistic separations. You've got tonal shading throughout there. It's not 100% white, it's not 100% silver substrate. We create tonal ranges based on our algorithms. So that means that we have these photorealistic separations. Now the next thing we're going to do is show you how we did it on your actual file, so we can show you how the plugin worked and what we did to it. We will then take that file and render it in the FX viewer, which we use to see the metallic effects, and then we can then see what the final printed result was like. Okay, so let's jump into it. Okay, so let's convert this image using the ColorLogic Image Effects plugin. So really simple, go to the plugin menu, go to ColorLogic, go to Image Effects. Click on the Create Metallic Separation. That's going to calculate the optimum metallic effect for each pixel in the image based on its hue value. What that means is you end up with a lovely pre-separated file for ColorLogic. We have a ColorLogic separation, but the thing is you don't want everything to be metallic. You want to have some contrast. So we're going to make a mask and we're going to get rid of anything that we don't want to be in metallic. So we've basically retained the metallic in the claws and also in the background. Now you will notice that anything that's white is white. That's the white ink mask. That's the white where the white ink will be. The silver will be the silver substrate. So you never have to have a white ink mask. You see everything true as you would expect on the screen. No more blue colors on your screen. And that's what people do with manual white ink masking. Okay, so from there we can also boost up the separation if we want. So if we want to put a little bit more metallic pop into it, we can press the boost button, and let me just do it quite a few times. You'll see it changing a lot. So what it's doing is it's basically putting a 25% boost of that ColorLogic separation through our algorithm. Now, ColorLogic, when printing onto metallic substrates or inks, you're going to get that grayness coming through from the substrate. So silver substrate has an appearance of about 30% black, which means that when we add that separation in there, it's darkening down. So we're going to compensate for that through the ColorLogic separation. And again, this is where training and education is paramount. So we teach people how to work with metallics. We've been doing this for over 16 years. We're basically one of the world authorities on metallic color separation. We've done color separation algorithms, software development. We know what we're doing with color. And these are some of the things you will learn by using the ColorLogic system. Things that you just won't be taught anywhere else. So what we're going to do here is we're going to change that image into CMYK. So let's just flatten it down. We'll go and make a CMYK file. And the reason why we're doing it in CMYK is we're going to do some color correction on it through the ColorLogic separation. And it's better to do that in your CMYK image. You can do it through the RGB if you're skilled enough with working RGB. RGB obviously being the opposite to CMYK. It's an additive color system, so all your sliders and all your controls work in a very different way. This way is a bit more natural. So what we're going to do, we're going to make a selection of the ColorLogic separation. We're going to go and do a new color correction layer through the brightness and contrast. So from the brightness slider, we're going to change that to 30. That's just going to brighten all the areas where the ColorLogic separation is. It's only for the ColorLogic separation. Nothing else is affected. So basically compensating for that grayness, which is what we're seeing there, by lightening it to be compensated by the substrate. So we're going to do the same thing again. We're going to make a selection. We're going to go onto the CMYK layer, and this time we're going to do another color correction layer through hue and saturation. And this time on the saturation levels, we're going to put that up to about 15. And that basically is just going to put a little pop of extra color in the areas where the ColorLogic separation is. So now we're retaining that brightness, cleanness, the punchy color in there. We've got rid of that kind of dirty grayness from the substrate. These are non-destructive layers, so we can, if we want, remove them if we decide that we don't want to apply that. So there we go. We have a image that's been separated in a matter of seconds. And bear in mind, I'm teaching it at the same time. All we need to do now is save that file. We're going to go into Illustrator, put it into a page layout. We're going to save that file as a PDF file. Then we're going to visualize it in the FX Viewer, and then we can send that to our client for approval. So let's go and do that now.